Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. So we're going to take a look at the Ferrum Forge Pro Series Fortis 2.0. This model is the Through-Work tie. And this one is on loan from Blade HQ. I really had no intention of borrowing or picking one of these up, but Blade HQ reached out and said, hey, would you like to do a video on this one? And I was like, sure, why not? So they have the full line of these in stock. It's taken me a little while to do this video, so this particular one is out of stock at Blade HQ currently. I apologize, but there are different variations, different colors. They still have quite a few different ones in stock, essentially. So we're going to take a look at this one. Now, this is made in China, hence the Pro Series title. Initially, they were called the Pro line, but that caused an issue with someone else who'd used the term Pro line before, so now these are referred to as the Pro Series. So if you saw Pro line before, you see Pro Series now, it's the same thing, just kind of changed the name a little bit. So hopefully that clears up any confusion. We'll go through specs, overall impressions, and details here on this one. We'll just jump into specs real quick. Again, some of you guys don't like the specs, but when I put up a poll or asked you guys what you want on Instagram, a lot of people said they want the specs. So we've got our kind of standard ones here. We have the Kershaw Dividend, and we have the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. So it is a smidge longer than the Para 2. 3.5 inch blade length, 4.75 inch handle, 8.25 inch overall. Blade stock on this one is coming in at 0.16. That is next to the Para, and it is a flat grind. Ball bearings, ceramic detent ball, titanium handles, titanium pocket clip, all the goodies. Made by We Knives out of China, as far as I recall. And the price point on this is $250. Weighs in on my scale at 4.6 ounces, S35VN blade. So there we go, kind of blitzed through the specs. Hopefully that was adequate. So overall impressions, to be honest, I like this one, this Chinese-made Pro Series Fortis 2.0, better than Ferrum Forge's USA-made offerings for a number of reasons. I'll hit them briefly. We'll go through them in a little bit more detail. Obviously, the price is a lot better. It's coming in $300 less than the USA-made stuff. So, again, everyone says they want to buy American-made, but what sells? Well, things that are less expensive. This has a standard detent ball, standard ceramic detent ball. I'm kind of over the Hoback rolling detent, which Ferrum Forge typically uses. I prefer standard detents. Just the lock bar pressure on some of the Hoback rolling detents, it becomes so extreme to keep the blade closed. It's just not enjoyable in the hand. It doesn't feel good, so I'm over it. This has a more attractive lock side. Ferrum Forge, by and large, has just kind of the exact same lock side on every single knife, and to me, as an enthusiast or collector, I profusely dislike that. This has a sculpted titanium pocket clip versus a spring clip, and overall it has more machining done than their USA-made version. I mean, maybe if they made a new one in the USA, maybe it would have the same levels of machining. Would it still be $550? I don't know, maybe it'd be more. So anyways, for those reasons, I like this one better than, well, any of their USA-made offerings, to be honest. So it's just, it ticks a lot more boxes for me personally. Fit and finish is fantastic. There really are no flaws that I can find on this knife. And let's do an up-close look here before I ramble on too much. Some really nice machining. Anodizing is excellent. The pivot is, sitting pretty much flush with the scales, which is a nice touch. The machining is nice, and it provides some additional benefit here on this what is it called again? The Through-Work tie. So 2 standoffs on the back. I mean, it's just really, really well done. No flaws. Let's look at the action here. Now the action is stout. It's got a nice strong detent, again, which I prefer stronger detents than lighter detents. And the flipper tab here has some pretty aggressive jimping, which, again, works really well with the stronger detent. You can use a middle finger flick, or at least I can without any problems. Some other people said they're having issues. The thumb deployment, not so much. The D10 is pretty strong. I've gotten it once or twice. I'm not going to sit here for 5 minutes and try to show you guys on the camera, but primarily flipper tab and then middle finger flick. So yeah. Now another kind of cool thing with this one is you guys can see that little line right there? That's from the detent ball. And so I wanted to smooth this out a little bit, so I just put a little bit of lubricant right here on the exposed detent path. And that actually improved the action quite a bit without having to disassemble the knife. So if you guys get it and the detent is a little too strong, just get a little bit of lubricant right in there, work it a couple times, and that'll smooth it out quite a bit. So, you know, again, this is this heavily stonewashed S35VM blade. It's really nice. It has a usable finger choil, and the blade shape here, you know, lets you get in pretty close on it. Just a drop point with a swedge. Opening hole, again, matches the through work design, and it's useful for the middle finger flick. So I like that as well. The top, they went ahead and chamfered all the edges. So jimping is actually pretty effective, and it's, you know, upswept or at a diagonal, so locks your thumb in. And again, this dip in the blade here, very comfortable for the thumb to get higher up on the blade. So I like all of that. It's all really, really well done. Let's take a look at the handles again. You know, while we're at it, can't get my finger anywhere near the back of the blade, nor the tip. It's really well designed, and it's been really well executed by WE Knives. You know, it just didn't interest me, but in the hand, this is one of the better knives that I've handled in quite some time. It just gives a lot of confidence in terms of the grip. The ergonomics are excellent. And this is a knife that when you get it in the hand, you know, you're going to feel like you want to do a lot of work with it. So, you know, again, I'm not really a fan of Ferrum Forge and the USA made offerings, but this one is fantastic. So there's no hot spots on the clip. Let's take a look at that. If anything, the clip might be a little bit tight, a little hard to get into jeans, but manageable. I had no problem carrying it, but if we're going to find something on this knife, I mean, that's really the most I can tell you as far as a critique or a flaw. There's adequate space for jeans. The lip is adequate. It just doesn't have a whole lot of spring, which again is fine. Internal lock bar cutout. But just take a minute to appreciate all of the rounding and all of the milling here on the handles. Obviously this doesn't really serve any functional benefit, and it's not done on the lock side, but I like it. It looks nice. So I think these are what, T6 and then probably a T8 here on the Torx screws. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much everything on it. It's really nice. It feels amazing in the hand. Takeaways are just, well, killer fit and finish, killer ergonomics. You can swap the pocket clip for you poor left-handed guys out there. And let's see what else. Yeah, the value's there. So would I recommend this one? Honestly, I would, especially over the USA made stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I really like it. I'm not sure that I'm gonna buy one. I'm still undecided. There's so many knives out right now, and I have so many as it is, but I like this one a lot. So if you're on the fence, I think you'll be really happy if you pull the trigger on this one. I've seen people arbitrarily talking about how the fit and finish of this one isn't as good as the USA made stuff. Honestly, they probably never had either in hand. So yeah, I like this one better for all the reasons I outlined. So anyways, head over to Blade HQ if you want to check these out or purchase anything from them. And we'll just go ahead and end it with, again, just got another look at that size comparison here. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I need to do more videos as always, and hopefully I'll get to more this weekend. Take care.